I don't remember the exact moment when I knew I wanted to become a writer. Perhaps it was getting a good grade and positive comments on a short story I wrote in elementary school that was carefully scripted out with my bright pink pencil. Or perhaps it was while reading my 20th Magic Treehouse book, a series that plucked me right up from my small-town world of after-school activities and post-award projects and plopped me back down in a world amidst dinosaurs, knights, and ninjas. Regardless, I always felt as if the magic of the written word was a warm, inviting hand that reached out to hold mine and guide me through worlds both familiar and unknown. Authors seem to have this power to lead you to someplace far away, but also allow you to imagine how these worlds may come to life with each turn of the page. Over time, I knew I wanted to have this power. Because I had always gotten A's in my writings in school, I knew I wanted to write, but I never knew what form my writing might take on. For the most part, all of my free writing as a kid was very inspired by whatever I was reading at the time. I loved books, and I read anything I could get my hands on. And, as it happens, the only reading material that was readily available to me was fiction from the local library. This was before the internet became the predominant source of our reading material, so our sources were bleak. My mom couldn't order books for us online, and a trip to the bookstore was rare, so my sense of storytelling came from the small library of my hometown. Thus, my narrow view on what it meant to be a writer was that to be a writer, you had to write the next great American novel. I remember sitting down to write my own dystopian story at the ripe age of 14, feeling confident that I could do it well. I remember writing a 5-page story that I was exceedingly proud of, with visions of a gold Newbery medal swirling around my head. But when I read it back over, I realized how closely it mimicked The Hunger Games, which was, coincidentally, my favorite novel at the time. Upset and frustrated, I felt as if I lacked the creativity and imaginative mindset to be successful at such a career. I didn't know how to write a story that was original and captivating, and it felt so stressful. So much of what I admired about authors was their ability to make me, the reader, feel as if she's escaped into a different realm and is welcomed by familiar character traits that make her feel represented as a person. And I felt like I couldn't create that. It felt like there was a divide between what I was feasibly able to do in school versus what I wanted to do in my own time that would help me pave my way to a career as a writer. What I realized later was that this feeling of failure for myself as a writer was really just me pressuring myself to succeed, and furthermore, I was pressuring myself to be successful at something I didn't really enjoy writing. This sense of failure had paralyzed me from writing for a while because it resurfaced that feeling of inferiority. Luckily for me, I came of age during a time when blogs were becoming a normalized hobby, and everyone started to post their thoughts and witticisms on social media. With the expansion of the accessibility of reading materials came a broader definition of what it means to be a writer. No longer was a writer a New York liberal elitist with horn-rimmed glasses and messy hair and an apartment full of cigarette ashes and cat hair. The more I read these kind of articles that were posted on the internet, the more I wanted to contribute to this conversation. Though the difference between this and my failed attempt at writing the next Hunger Games was that I could do this, and I could do it well. I've had a couple pieces on my blog that have gained some attention and have garnered some feedback that made me want to keep going. On my blog, I write think pieces about feminism and politics, including videos and GIFs to give my stories a modern feel. It is within the realm of the internet that I found the true writer in me. For me, a desperate young book lover who yearned to be a writer, the internet world in and of itself was indication to me that there is more than one type of writer. I just needed to find the type that suited me.